Good morning, children. I hope you all are following the lessons and completing your works. Now let us continue our lesson with the last subtopic, taking care of joints. In block 1, joints in our body. In our previous class, we have learned that why we need our joints. So, the need of joints which help our body to move the body parts. So, to allow the movement in our body, we need our joints. So, the joint should be taken care. So, to take care of our joints, there are some healthy ways, there are some points which how we can take care of the joints. First point is a healthy diet. So, healthy diet which helps to provide the nutrients which is required for the bones and muscles to grow in a strong way. To provide the strength to the bones and muscles, a healthy diet will help. So, when a balanced diet is taken every day, that help our body to build the bones and muscles in a healthy way. But to build the bones and muscles, we need the food which is rich in calcium and vitamin D. It is also essential of other nutrients, but for the bones and muscles, which is the most essential nutrients, that is the foods which are rich in calcium and the nutrients. So, the calcium and vitamin D will help in growing the bones and to improve the bone and muscle strength. So the calcium rich foods are the milk and the milk products which helps the bones to grow in a healthy way. And the vitamin D, how does it help us? From where does we get it? Vitamin D we will get from the sunlight. Nowadays we are getting these nutrients even as a tablets also. So this vitamin D, when we expose to the sun, that will be absorbed. The nutrients, the absorption capacity will be provided by the vitamin D. So this is a healthy diet which provides the bone strength to improve in a healthy way. So the regular exercise will help our bones and muscles to have a contraction and relaxation. This helps to supply the nutrients to each and every part of the body. So the exercise regularly will help your body to absorb the nutrients that helps in growing the muscles and the bones in a healthy way. So in this way also we can take care of our joints. Next, do not overuse a joint. Using a joint more times. So do not overuse a joint. Only one joint to be used continuously also will make that to decrease in the lubricated material present between the two bones. So the material which is present between the two bones, that gets decreased if you are overusing a joint. So then you should not overuse any joint. Maintaining proper body weight. Maintaining proper body weight. The overweight of your body also will keep a more stress on the joints. That will give a more stress on the joints that results in decreasing the material between the bones. So if you maintain a proper body weight, so then that helps your bones and muscles to be in a healthy way. In this way we can take care of our joints. So children, here if we don't take care of our joints, what happens? There will be some disorders in the joints. If you most of the grandparents, old people saying that no, I can't walk like you, no, I can't run like you. Now we can see that even old people cannot run as fast as a child runs. So why? Because the material which is present in their bones will get decreased, and also there will be swelling in their joint part. So we can see that when there is no lubricated material, a gum-like material not present between the bones, they directly touch each other and they go on rubbing. So when the two bones directly rub each other, that time they feel pain in their joints. So to move as fast as a child, when they are trying to move their body parts, when the two bones are directly rubbing each other, they feel pain in their joint regions. So this type of disorder we are calling it as arthritis. So sprain is one of the joint disorder when we extend our joint beyond its limit. So this we can see in the most of the players. And tennis elbow, this also we can see in the sports person, they use their joints more. See, if they are a tennis players, badminton players, they use their hand more. So that the players, they are using their only the hand joint more and more. So that makes them to it gets the swelling in their joints, that makes the joint to get a disorder. So they feel pain when they have disorder in their joints. So this is one of the joint disorders. And we can see stiffness. Stiffness is also one of the joint disorder when we does not use any joints at all. So they become stiff. We see that many of the people, if they don't work at all the joints will become stiff and there will be no movement, no contraction of the muscles, no relaxation of the muscles. So when there is no movement, all the joints will become stiff. When they become stiff, then again, when they move again their body, when they try to move their body, they feel pain in their joints. So they cannot even lift anything, they cannot even do any works with their joints when they are not using their joints for many days. So this is one of the stiffness is also one of the joint disorders. These are some of the joint disorders: arthritis, sprain, and tennis elbow, and stiffness. So we should be very careful about our bones and joints and muscles. So to improve our bone strength, to grow the muscles stronger, we should take a calcium rich foods. Now let us watch a video which is the food items which is rich in calcium. Watch this video and know the food items which is rich in calcium, which is good for your bones and muscles.
Calcium is very important for the development and maintenance of bones and teeth. As we grew up, our mother ensured that we consume dairy products and other foods rich in calcium for our healthy development. Consuming high calcium foods is very necessary and important to maintain our health and pass on the same health to the next generation. Calcium is the most abundant mineral that is stored mainly in the bones and teeth. When needed, the calcium is released into the bloodstream. Eating high calcium foods ensure the appropriate amount of calcium that is maintained in the body. Let's have a look at the top 10 high calcium foods that are must in your daily diet. Green leafy vegetables. Dark green leafy vegetables are one of the richest calcium sources found in our daily diet. Spinach is known to be one of the high calcium foods, having a concentration of 99 mg of calcium per 100 gram. Beans. Beans are one of the most common foods containing calcium. White beans contain approximately 113 mg per 100 gram and winced bean contain approximately around 30 mg of calcium per 100 gram. Broccoli. Broccoli is one of the best calcium sources that can be included in your diet. Broccoli contains about 47 mg of calcium per 100 gram. Broccoli is also rich in vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin B6, iron, dietary fiber, and folate. Sesame seeds. Sesame seeds are one of the richest food sources of calcium. Its easy availability makes it a very common choice in your diet. Sesame seeds are known to contain an average of 975 mg of calcium per 100 gram. Very rich, isn't it? Oranges. Oranges contain about 40 mg of calcium per 100 gram. Oranges are also rich in vitamin C that helps the absorption of calcium by the body. Milk. Milk is one of the richest calcium sources in your daily diet. Milk contains 125 mg calcium per 100 gram. Sardine fish. Sardines are one of the good food sources of calcium. One small sardine fish is known to contain about 46 mg of calcium. Precisely 382 mg calcium is found per 100 gram in sardine fish. Not a desired option for pure vegetarians, but for those who eat non-veg food, this is a very viable option for calcium intake. Cheese, yet another milk product. If you are wondering what foods offer calcium, then cheese is the yummy solution to calcium requirement. Cheese contains 721 mg of calcium per 100 gram. Dry fruits and nuts. Most dry fruits are rich calcium sources. 100 grams of almond are known to contain 264 mg of calcium. Likewise, dried figs contain around 26 mg of calcium per 100 gram. Yogurt. Yogurt is one wonder probiotic drink that is one of the very rich foods containing calcium. Yogurt, roughly weighing 100 gram, contains around 110 mg of calcium. Apart from the foods listed above, there are several other high calcium foods that can be considered to be included in your diet. If dietary calcium intake is poor, you can also take calcium supplements in the form of tablets upon consultation with your physician. Eat your way to better health by including calcium-rich foods in your daily diet.
Workbook page number 12, S4, and you are going to write today's date. And you are going to complete this workbook. I'll explain how to write the answers. Now, see the first question. How does a doctor know if a knee is healthy by looking at an X-ray? By looking at an X-ray, how can he know that this joint is having a disorder? When there is no proper gap between a bone to bone, then by that he can easily identify from the X-ray that this joint is having some pain. This knee is having some pain and this is a healthy knee. When there is proper gap is there, then he can say that it is a healthy knee. When there is no proper gap, when each bone is getting directly touched, that bone is having some disorder. Then, why do some people have knee pain? And what are some other disorders of the joints? Why do some people have disorders? This following reason, because sometimes this material which is present in between the bones may get dried up, or they may have used over. So in that way they can have even a swelling also in this knee region. So in that cases they feel pain in the knee region. You have to write in this way. Why are sports person advised to wear elbow and knee bands? Why? Because when they have the rapid movement is there, to give a support to that joint, they are using these bands. And how does the fluid in joints help them move? How does the fluid there? They give flexibility in their joints to move their body parts. This fluid material will allow the joints to move in a flexibility so that the movement of the body will not have any pain. So in this way you are going to complete your workbook. Now open your reader, page number 14. They have given practice questions, 7th and 8th answer. Already we have completed 1 to 6. So you are going to complete 7 and 8. Why do we need to take care of joints? Why do we have to take care of our joints? Because they help in the movement of our body. So how can we take care of our joints? So how we can take care of our joints? These all the points you can write. And what if the joints in the skull and spine were movable joints? If the joints in the skull and the spine are movable, what is going to happen? So the internal organs where they are protected in the skull and the spine, they get disturbed. So the functioning of the body also will get disturbed. So how would our body movements be different? Our body movements also will get different because they are immovable. Some are allowing the movement. So the movement of the body also will be in a different way. So in these two answers you are going to complete 7th and 8th for homework, and These disorders, some of the disorders you are going to write in the workbook. Second question, they asked why we have a knee pain. In that you are going to write some of the disorders in the workbook. See the reader, read the lesson, and you are going to complete the workbook S4 till S4 and classwork also. By this we have completed our block 1, joints in our body. Hope you all have understood and followed the lesson. Complete your works. Try to improve your immunity levels. Have healthy food and stay home, stay safe.